All right. Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to session 3 of Good Boys, a game in the world of Infinity, using Modiphius' own Infinity RPG in the world created by the company Corvus Belli for their war game Infinity, one of my favorite things in the entire world. We are following a team of O12 operatives as they attempt to guard a VIP in a series of extenuating circumstances that they have found themselves in. Now we're going to start introducing the players, starting with Rurik to my left.
Hey guys, I'm Rurik. I am playing Johnny Madison, a dog-faced former devil dog turned police officer for O12. He is a good boy. He's essentially the Boy Scout of the group. He's went to military school, did everything he was supposed to do in college, joined the Marines, and has now gone into Special Forces and ends up here.
Next up, we have Megan.
Hi, I'm Megan, and I play Laddie, who is actually a dog, and he was also in the Marines because he's from the planet that is not Earth, but is basically Earth, yes. And yeah, he's a dog. He's a very good boy.
Laddie is an antipode, which is a race of alien dog people that live in the world of Ariadne. They usually live in threes, but Laddie has made a link with Johnny, and that way he can function like a full individual. Next up, we have Skull.
I am playing Antonio Salazar, who is Space Knight. He is Knight of Santiago, hailing from Neoterra. And he has been seconded to O12, which is like Space UN. And now he finds himself leading this ragtag group of individuals.
Rude.
From backwards Ariadnans to rebellious nomad squid person. Octopus person, my apologies. That is
rude.
Miss Species.
Miss Species. And speaking of nomads, we have Kat.
Me. So I'm a biomorph, a cephalopod biomorph. I guess I was created by a wealthy nomad scientist, and I've gone off on my own now, and I've run into this lovely group. I am their official hacker. That is my role. She's small, shy, but very good at what she does.
Do we know what happened to, slightly out of topic, but do we know what happened to Z's creator? Is that for later?
We don't even know who Z's creator actually is.
We just assume that she has one. We assume that some cephalopod didn't, climb out of the ocean, alright, I'm ready.
I wouldn't mind that. That's kind of cool. I don't know. We'll think about that. We'll find out how she's created later.
You see, when one cephalopod loves another cephalopod very much.
Well, you see, you either return to monkey or you ascend to cephalopod.
Laddie has questions.
All right, ladies and gents. As we left our last session, Laddie and Z were making their way to the apartment occupied by two of the assailants who attempted to take out their charge, Kahari Suran, and were promptly prevented from doing so by the entire party in a very short and very bloody skirmish.
It went quickly.
Yeah. As they reached the door to that particular room, the image of the game master Guignol appears in the center plaza. He showed a video of the target for the bonus round being killed by an assassin that the group had met before without knowing that she was an assassin. And
did we really not know?
Well,
we might have known, but
very
our characters didn't.
You all suspected. So yeah, she threw a few knives, took down a few bad guys, and then ended up killing the ringleader of a terrorist organization. Go her. And as we come back in, Guignol is still in the middle of his speech. Ladies and gentlemen, what a show, wouldn't you agree? Miss Grishin is a true delight to watch. That knife work, that poise. I get chills just thinking about it. But worry not, ladies and gents. The excitement is only just beginning as we now make our way to the main event. There are 5 remaining VIPs and 5 assassins still out there after them. But before I introduce our contestants, I am obligated to go over the rules of the contest so that we have no further misunderstandings. Rule number 1. The contestants are not to harm the audience in any way. If they do so, then they will be the objective of another bonus round. Rule number 2. And boy, oh boy, I can't believe this has to be a rule. Do not attempt to find your humble servant or any other game master, as this will only result in frustration and or your VIP becoming the target of in another bonus round. And then the giant AR projection lowers his head exactly to the floor where Laddie and Z are standing, turns his head to look at them, and says, "I'm looking at you, Miss Z. Consider this a friendly warning." Stands back up. Rule number 3. Do not attempt to leave until the contest has ended. All open berths have been rigged with proximity detonators by the game masters, and attempting to disable them would only give our competitors the advantage. Now, without further ado, let us meet our contestants. Game show music starts playing. There's a few AR fireworks that go off. The portraits of 4 humans, 2 male, 2 female, and Kaari start orbiting Guignon. VIP number 1. He stretches up the image of a human male, balding, with very rough features, and has a few tattoos around the side of his face. Vadim Kovalev. Vadim is a former executive with the Bank of Tunguska, famous for giving ludicrous loans with very low hurdles. But Guignol, you might say. What could earn a simple loan executive a spot in your lovely show? Well, dear viewer, Vadim purposefully targeted low-income families he knew could not make payments on loans, and when they defaulted, he would collect their entire estate as they would mysteriously disappear. How curious. I'll leave it up to you to fill in the blanks. He was unceremoniously fired, sure, but somehow it seems to me like his own debt isn't quite paid yet. VIP number 2. The image of an Asian woman with long black hair and a very mean expression on her face comes up. Sayuri Toda. Our dear Sayuri is a Tenko for the Ikari company, and that, for many, would be introduction enough. She, however, is one special gal. In the pacification of the recent small business owner protests in Mars, she alone racked up an impressive body count, over 50 in children alone, twice the number among the protesters. Ouch, I certainly would not want to be anywhere near her vicinity. The third portrait comes up, and it's an older woman with also a very mad expression on her face. She's wearing those glasses that end in points. She looks to be about 60 and has a giant beehive hairdo. VIP number 3, Leah Stevens. Madam Stevens, as she's preferred to be called, is an executive at Tristerion and would otherwise be completely irrelevant enough for her perchance to do business with just about anybody. And ladies and gents, I do mean anybody. His image is replaced by a video shot from what looks to be the point of view of someone who's speaking to Leah Stevens as she opens up a steel drum inside of which there is a pulsing, translucent egg of some sort. She closes it back up and motions at a worker to load it onto a shuttle. This short clip was declared as inadmissible in court, and Madam Stevens is a free woman, but I'm afraid the court of public opinion is not often susceptible to lobbying. VIP number 4, Damien Sue. You see the picture of a younger, maybe late 20s Asian man with a side-parted black hair. He looks very professional, circumspect. He's wearing a suit on this picture. The Reaper of Mining Asteroid 1435. Unless you live under a rock or under the watchful eye of the Jade Emperor, wink, you will have heard about all those Japanese miners gassed in 1435. Their lives snuffed out in the blink of an eye due to what the glorious State Empire called a very unfortunate accident. It is, however, quite curious that neither Kanren Damien Sue nor any of the local garrison were effective. Curious indeed. And finally, we have a treat for all you viewers. A VIP not from the human sphere. Your number 6, you see the image of Kari come up. Hostile operative Kari Sudan, a veritable Machiavellian mastermind. Sudan was responsible for releasing a nanoswarm that wiped out a whole Mora contingent. Yay! But at the same time, every human in the neighborhood that they were clearing, boo. Is this enough to warrant her a spot on our contest? I think so. Well, ladies and gents, I know you're all eager to see what fate has in store for us next. Or, I don't know, can you wait? I can't wait! Let ultimate regicide begin! It disappears.
Are any of these people that we would recognize, other than have them having just been brought to our attention, like from the news or like, etc.?
Well, Z would have probably
maybe
heard...
not Laddie. Laddie probably doesn't care, but
Z would have probably heard about Vadim, because it was, a big Nomad scandal, and she probably reads Nomad news, with her morning coffee or whatever, or whatever the equivalent is.
I now picture that she takes her suckers and like she gets some liquid and then she like scoops it up like this.
It's the perfect cup. I don't need cups.
Let's see who else you would have probably heard of. Well, you would have heard about what happened in that asteroid where all those Japanese miners were killed. It was a pretty big news story, but nobody was mentioned by name.
Okay.
The Jade Empire does have really good intelligence people. Let's see who else. And yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
We aren't all currently together again, are we? We're all currently split up.
Yeah. Johnny and Antonio are right now at the Tiki Hut with Kari and her companion. And Laddie and Z are at the apartment formerly occupied by the two people that attacked Kari at the shuttle.
Jason and Justina.
Yeah.
Okay, so I turn to Antonio. Do we play defense or offense?
I figure we play defense. Antonio likes it that we already have a defensible position, and the more the other groups fight each other, the less we have to contend with in the end. And he doubts that there is any intent to form any alliance between the other groups, at least not for the moment.
Well, we have two.
The times in, and are these even people we want to protect? They seem pretty shitty.
We're only protecting ours. The others are for us to kill.
Ours seems pretty shitty too.
I mean, on the scale of shitty people, ours is at the bottom.
Okay,
on the scale of war crimes.
The scale of war crimes.
Laddie has also come from a tribe of doggos that would probably totally commit war crimes against people. So his
because people suck. But
his time in the military is the only thing that gives him any sense of decency war towards Umis.
Yeah.
Besides, Kari's war crimes are up for interpretation. We don't know if that's true. This is an accusation made by a Nomad TV personality. So.
Nomads have good sources. I would probably trust the information.
Well, we can trust the facts. The facts are she created a virus, it killed more rats, and some humans died.
Yeah.
What we don't know is, was it on purpose? Was it negligence? Is she an asshole?
Well, I'm curious to find out.
I mean, it would be...
I would rather not find out until we're done with this fight.
Exactly, and it wouldn't be up to us to play Executioner, nor for the Game Master to play Executioner. That would be up for an international tribunal to handle, if these allegations are true.
Laddie's curious, but thinks we can just ask her whenever we get back.
Fine.
Focus.
Gotcha.
Do we want to try and break the rules and have Z continue searching?
No, Laddie likes rules. and he didn't seem happy.
And I'd like to keep being alive.
Yeah.
'Cause they
Antonio
seem
thinks
to
that we
know
should
a
try
lot
to
more
continue
than, you know,
playing by the rules, at least for the moment. Because, well, at the moment, we aren't the sole target if we make ourselves the objective of the bonus round that will create alliances between the other groups to take us down.
Right. Well, not
Even if
necessarily
just
alliances, but
right, yeah, a common interest.
I mean, I definitely wouldn't trust any of the groups that are protecting these people. At
Yeah,
all.
they'll seem like jerks.
Well, mercenaries, you know?
not everyone is officially sanctioned.
Exactly. Like you said, we're on the bottom rung of the assholes that we're protecting. They're like bigger assholes, so they obviously aren't going to be represented by any government or whatnot. So the people that we're dealing with is going to be pretty gnarly.
Except the Jade Empire lady, you know, because Yu Ching is like War Crimes, the RPG.
True.
Okay, so I look at Antonio. Let's call our people back then.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming they've been live on the comms with us, so
No, but
I figure
do we
they
not
wouldn't
get
need
to
us
go
to.
live?
I mean, yeah, don't we want to continue at least doing some research?
I would say that our research should be done from here, jacked in, and trying to see if we can find the other people.
Well, don't we want to know if... I guess Jason and Justine couldn't have been the assassins. I have forgotten their actual names.
Mia Donovan and Adrian Kelly.
Yeah.
Letty doesn't think that's important. He thinks they're Jason and Justine.
Like you asked just to say I don't care.
I imagine that Laddie does that a lot, and Johnny gives him the exact information he asked for, and he's like, whatever. That wasn't important.
It's not a matter, like, we want that information, but we don't want to be doing something that seems to be breaking the rules, even if it's merely skirting them, just so that we don't paint that target on our back.
How is it breaking the rules to find out whether or not our assassin is alive?
I mean, just because it's our assassin, aren't like the other assassins also put out to kill everybody? Or is it like one assassin per person?
There's one assassin per person.
Yeah, it's one assassin per person.
Oh.
Ukulele lady got away.
So we don't have to worry about that lady like coming back kind of sort of deal.
Right, and arguably we don't have to worry about her telling people where we are because...
she's done with her mission.
Right. Arguably, right? There's no guarantees there.
Right.
As a matter of fact, where are you guys at the moment? Inside the kitchen building, or are you outside with the tables?
We are inside the building at a booth near the kitchen door. I am watching the kitchen door.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm watching the main entrance, and then obviously we're as close to Kaari as possible.
It's not so much a main entrance as like the tiki hut is an open roofed place that on the side has a small concrete section where the kitchen and the fridge are.
Oh, well, in that case, we're inside the kitchen.
The tables and such, all of that stuff is outside and it's open. And the stage.
I mean, if Kaari is done eating, then she has to be in the kitchen too. There's no way she's out in the open roof and susceptible to airborne fire.
Yeah, I thought we were in a building. I didn't realize we were...
It looks like one of those, like cabana, like just a bunch of things with a not really straw because it's not real straw. It's plastic, but
it's like synthetic straw.
Yeah, it's like I'm telling you, this is a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy of what someone in Pennsylvania thinks that Hawaii used to look like.
Of a place called Kokomo.
That's not Hawaii at all, but okay.
Oh yeah, by the way, there is, like antique, quote unquote, Hawaiian-ish music playing from the speakers at the place.
So
it's
just
some
like
tropical
all
music. It's all Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Hawaiian. Guys.
At this point, you have heard Margaritaville like 7 times.
Oof, it's going to be stuck in your brains forever.
It's a curse, actually. The shamans of Laddie's tribe told him about this.
Yeah, we definitely want you guys coming back at this point.
Okay.
Okay.
But what did you just brandish in the middle?
Yeah, like
Okay.
oh,
And put that away,
the
sir.
axe.
It's very heavy. I'm trying to get stronger.
It's his computer axe. He just keeps it there. For when the
You don't
computer
know.
axe.
I might have axes throughout the house for different rooms.
I
100%
absolutely
believe
believe you do.
I wish
That
I was
is
allowed to have an
0%
IT axe.
suspicious.
This computer is broken.
Well,
Replacement.
whenever you have a picnic problem, you get the picnic axe.
Problems you can intimidate into fixing.
Oh no, my email works now. It's fine. Sorry. Carry on. Oh yeah, we're
What's
coming
your,
back.
your
I
course
think.
of action? All right, you're not gonna enter the apartment. You're just gonna go right back.
I guess everyone's gonna be really
we're already
lost.
here. Why are we gonna like?
I
it'll be
mean,
too
Laddie
bad.
wanted to go in, but
Yeah,
we're getting in
let's
trouble.
go in, laddie. We're not gonna get in trouble. It's gonna be, you know.
You'll 100% get in trouble.
I think that Laddie may need some convincing.
Come on, laddie.
Laddie's
It'll be
very
fun. You know, you're curious.
Come on, Lottie, let's go party.
Really quick.
Does he have any treats? I think Laddie would be out. What's Laddie's willpower? Let's see.
Quick adventure, in and out, 20 seconds.
Oh no.
Yeah.
They're bleeding from
Laddie's-
their eyes.
Laddie's willpower is all right.
Ooh,
You
would
have
I
any snacks?
like roll a persuade check kind of sort of deal? I don't have any snacks, but
We roll
you know,
against each other.
the
Okay, yeah.
satisfaction of the curiosity. Like
You know what? Let's roll on a post check. Z's persuade versus Laddie's discipline.
Oh, I tell Lottie on the comms that there is ham he can have back at the fucking
No,
restaurant.
don't use the food. Are we
Hmm,
both?
I think Laddie
Alright,
won.
So, yeah, Laddie got 3 successes, I imagine.
Yeah, his willpower is 11.
Yep. Versus 2 from Z. So Laddie's no,
Fine.
Laddie's like, nope, we gotta go back.
not even for
There's
a
ham to
Scooby
be
snack.
had.
Gotta go back. There is. He definitely heard
Antonio.
Antonio. I was going to call him Salazar.
Yeah, that's his last name.
Yeah. He heard Sir Salazar and he was like, Sir Salazar says there's. I don't think he can do tongue twisters. Sir Salazar says there's Serrano.
And Antipos can barely speak human. This would be a very Scooby-Doo-ish communication here. Like,
Salazar say no.
So he's like, we gotta go.
Fine.
See.
Also, if Z wanted, Laddie would totally let her ride on his back.
Okay. That'll make me feel better.
Brother Antipode. Din, 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 din,
Yes.
din, din. Tell everybody I'm on my way.
So you guys will see Laddie. I keep forgetting Laddie's name for some reason. Galloping back with Z riding him.
It's not a particularly
as Laddie
complicated
and
name.
as Laddie and Z are making their way back, you actually come across walking on the same direction. A certain Russian woman carrying a case for a balalaika.
And
Wait a minute, you said
She-
you was an entertainer.
She is
Well-
making her way back to the tiki hut, and at this point, you guys, like, if one of you is at the door, you do see her approaching.
Okay.
you're done working, right?
Are you asking her that? You're
Yeah.
Stopping by her and asking?
Totally.
Oh yeah, job's done.
No more jobs?
I mean, not
No. She doesn't get to come in here. She does not.
But she works there.
No gracias. Mhm. Nuh-uh, girl.
She turns to you guys and goes like, "You two are the protective detail for your plant lady, right?"
Uh-huh. See?
She's looking at them like they haven't gotten to the
Yeah, we're
Oh,
still in the
tiki hut.
kitchen.
You see them kind of in the distance,
Wants to know.
just striking up a conversation.
Laddie barks.
Working. Aren't there? We're on comms. Like they should be able to like hear us, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That we're like confronting this lady, so they know we're confronting her at the door. So if they want to come and intersect or interject.
The only interjection I will want to do is to just remove the issue immediately.
Well, that's me and Laddie got this. We're asking her.
Right, but Laddie and Johnny remove issues in a more permanent fashion.
Okay, well, we're going the diplomatic route.
Right.
Their solutions are rather, like, permanent.
Yeah.
She looks at Tiki Hut. She sees Antonio kind of peeking out from the door. She's like, "Oh, you're holding up in here. That's smart. That's a good idea."
Sure.
Laddie has been a dog his whole life, and he knows patronizing when he hears it.
Well,
Not a fan.
Not a fan.
Are you stopped like there in the middle, or are you just walking
Yeah,
side
yeah.
by side towards the?
yeah, we're not really letting her into the building, right? That's
No, I think Laddie
Yeah.
would like walk next to her and then kind of turn and get in the way. It's
Lot
probably
her up.
marginally less intimidating with Z like sitting on his like shoulders.
She backs up a little
Whatever.
bit and goes like, "Whoa! I'm off the clock. I just want drinks. This place has best drinks in the entire station. I
And
just
they're
wanna,
close. It's like when the strippers show up
That's
and
what
then
Laddie
the wife
says.
opens
He's like,
the door and
they're
it's like,
closed.
there were some bad boys in here. It's like, oh, there were, but they just left.
They just left.
I mean, maybe she could give us some information. Maybe.
Laddie doesn't think so. But maybe.
what information are you looking for?"
What do you know about Guillaume, your employer? That
I'm pretty sure that's breaking the rule.
Yeah, don't.
Oh,
Please no.
curious,
Yeah,
I
she
can't
lifts
do
an eyebrow for a
anything.
second. Was like, "Are you sure?"
Fine, never mind.
Por favor.
We all say the same thing. We're like, no.
What do you know about? No.
Never mind.
Okay, bye.
You can ask any questions.
If you wanna listen.
Oh no! Tell her. Antonio messages on comms and he's like, "Tell her we'll buy her. We'll give her a drink voucher for any other eating establishment, but she just can't come here. It's
I
closed."
mean, she now knows where we are. What better place to I don't know. I don't want to let her go knowing where we are either.
That is true. So Johnny says, I'm with Z on this one. If she's getting drunk in front of us, she's not sneaking up behind us to kill us or sell our information to someone else.
Laddie would
Well-
like to. Is Laddie close enough to hive mind with Johnny?
Antonio counters that if she is here, that is an immediate reinforcement to any attack force if she chooses to be.
Well, Z, can you do a comlog block so she can't text people?
Well, they're not gonna group assassinate anyone, and the assassins aren't going to help the
The other
Earth.
teams.
the teams.
Yeah.
That's not their business.
At this point, with all this chatter, she's just kind of looking at her comm log, and she goes like, "You know what? Whatever. You can keep Tiki Hut. I don't care." And she just turns around and walks away.
Oh,
No.
they're good.
The problem solved itself.
So Laddie waits.
Turns around and
This
just yells
doesn't
again,
come
"You're
back
not
to
very
bite us."
friendly people."
See, that's what I didn't
She
want.
wasn't very
She's the
friendly
one
to
that
us
had
in the first place.
linoleum poisoning Laddie's nose.
Yeah, she was mean.
Linoleum
Laddie
poison?
didn't like her anyway.
It's called smoldering.
The poison for Laddie, the poison chosen specifically, Laddie's poison.
All right.
Okay, they're drunk. Relax.
So Johnny's okay with following orders, but he's also getting anxious about there being a competition and him not being able to be involved.
We are involved. Aren't we involved? Isn't the whole
You're-
point like to
You know,
that's involved.
coach mode is just like, oh, you know, like we are in the competition. This is just a winning strategy.
Hiding out. Okay.
Understand that there is while defense exists in dodgeball, it's a small portion of the game.
It's like this is a zero-sum game. Like you don't win by having more points. You win by staying alive.
Well, we need to figure out if this is going to be our main hold, and we need to set up defenses and whatnot.
You know, like Ariadna, like they left like only a couple of like decades in the future. I'm imagining they still remember like battle royales and like dabbing and stuff. So like, you know, I explain. Antonio has read history books and he explains like Fortnite terms to Johnny, things he would understand, and he's just like, you know, like just because this guy has 17 kills, if someone shoots him at the end of the match, it doesn't matter how many kills he had. You know, last man standing wins.
Seems legit.
All right. In that case, our strategy needs to be already spotting what our next defensive location will be in case this one is breached.
Laddie thinks we should lay some traps, because I think that's what he would do at home. I think that they would lay some traps.
As Ariadnans, that is 100% where we would be. I was actually just lamenting the fact that I don't have like
Laddie's looking for a fog
Claymores.
machine. We can't have smoke grenades, so we're looking for the fog machine, and he's like makeshifting a flametthrower.
I've
We
got
got
grenades.
this. I bet there's a blowtorch in one of these little
like a
kiosks.
cookie one.
Laddie thinks that Mr. Salazar should mind his own darn business. Laddie knows what he's doing.
I actually have a smoke grenades, so if that comes down, I got your back.
Yes.
Actually, you know what? I ring up Chew.
All right.
My kingdom for anti-personnel mines.
It takes a couple of rings, but after a while, you see Chu. He's walking away from something at the moment. He seems a little flustered and like he's just fixing his hair and goes like, "Yes, hello."
How's the day progressing on your side of things?
Well, not fucking great, mate. We have a lot of Yu-Ching people here, and they've just taken over the entire security office. And some lady has set up a tent, an awning in the middle of the plaza, and she has people coming in and out constantly.
They set up camp
Like a
in the
whorehouse?
plaza.
Z, can you get eyes on who's in the plaza? See if we can see
Yeah,
which of the
I
VIPs it
still
is.
have access to the cameras and stuff like that, right? That's not against
Yeah.
the rule. I can still look, I
You
guess.
do still have access to the cameras.
Okay, so I'm definitely gonna go see what's happening, see if I can get eyes on Chew and what's going on.
So you go, you check the cameras in the plaza. There is indeed an awning set up, like one of those big square tent things with curtains around it. And there's like a line of people going in and out of it. And as you cycle through the cameras, you do see that the cameras in the security office are all offline.
Can we see what happened before they went offline?
Yeah, you do rewind, and you do see that one man in that you recognize as 1 second, as Damien Sue. Yeah, the one that from the picture. He's dressed in a suit, and he walks in. Speaks to one of the guards. The guard speaks back, just kind of baffled, and then he snaps his fingers, and 3 guys in what you do recognize as Celestial Guard outfits, they start ushering all the security personnel from the security office with combi rifles. Security people are like, what's going on here? And they walk in, and they shoot down all the security cameras.
Okay.
Hey, Chew, Do you want your office back?
Yeah.
You willing to team up to get it back?
I thought we were
Time
playing
out.
defense.
Shh. Antonio's not listening to me right now.
Time out with what? We don't have much. We're just security officers. I never shot a gun in my life.
Great security.
So the
Mall
only
cops.
people in your unit with combat training are the ones that already tried to kill me?
We have two of the special situations paper left, but I doubt that they want any part of this.
I mean,
Neither do we, so.
this is in fact a special situation.
Yeah, but
What are they there
don't
for
want-
if not this?
They're not really looking to fight you change celestial gods, mate.
Can we lock them in there?
Oh,
Like, okay, if you want to be in there, can we lock them in
Wait.
there?
The pansies or the celestial guard?
Z.
Well, not the pansies. They're useless. We can ignore them.
We
Even
can lock
better.
them all in there.
That what?
Even better. We don't need to be the ones to go fight Sue's people. We can just broadcast his location to all the other people.
Oh dear.
That's an idea.
Then
Let them-
Antonio, then Salazar can't yell at me for not playing defense.
Yeah, then we
And-
don't even get in trouble.
Yes.
I like that idea. Okay. Who wants to make the announcement?
You're a nomad. Maybe they'll think you're part of the group.
Nah.
The people.
We're not going on camera.
But you're so photogenic. You change colors and everything. Look at you. Your hair's already a different color than it was last week.
Oh. I'm the background. I can get the tech working. I can get you looking good, but
You're the man in the chair?
they.
Salazar wants to know how the station life support systems are compartmentalized.
What?
Why do you want to know that?
He wants to know
Just 'cause?
if the brig and the security station has its own separate life support system.
No, it's all open, mate. It's one big open station.
Is the there's no airtight compartments? There's the doors to the security station are not airtight.
For those of you
Uh,
watching, that is the... Oh, that didn't work out at all. Never
There
mind.
it is.
I see it on the thing.
Yeah, but
It's a very rough.
It's zoomed in and weird, so sorry about that. I was trying to show everyone something. It didn't work. For next time, I'll try something different.
Just so you know, the entire station is basically like a domed, flat expanse with the building of the central hotel standing in the middle. Chu does tell you we have redundancy and we have self-healing polymers on the cupola, but other than that, not much.
How many Celestial Guard were there, Chu?
I saw at least 6.
So I like Johnny's idea, but I think we can take it a step further, and we can try to lock their doors after their position is announced, and then flood their fire
Wouldn't we-
system, which on
Wouldn't
this
we
type
want
of
to
station
get
would
them
normally
to
be
make the broadcast?
who'd make the broadcast?
Wouldn't we want to lock them in before we make the broadcast?
Yeah, and then make the broadcast, but at the same time, engage the fire system inside, like just compartmentalize it to the police station, basically.
You want to
Because in
suck
this type of station, it would be
oxygen
a
out?
CO2 based system, and it would
Yeah.
just to basically suffocate the fire. So they would try to break out in a panic, and then other teams would have them as easy pickings at that point.
Fire suppression is another hacking role, and she needs to make sure that she doesn't catch anyone's attention, but we know that she's more defense than anything, so...
Yeah, and it wouldn't be against the rules.
As long
We are
as
trying to
as long
kill
as
them after
no civilians are hurt.
Yeah, no, that's why I said specific to the whatchamacallit, the security station.
Hey, Chew,
Okay.
get your guys out of there.
Alright,
I think they already got kicked out.
Yeah, he tells you we're already out. We're standing in the plaza with the rest of the civilians.
Are we telling Chu what we're doing?
No. Hey, do you have eyes on who's in the tent?
No. I only see the security personnel outside. I assume they're security personnel. They're very well dressed and they have rifles.
Okay.
A suit and a rifle. That's how you know.
All right. Show's yours, Z.
Okay. So we're going to. So first, I want to see if I can hack into the fire system, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
Because
I would.
if I can't do it, then we have to think of something else.
Yeah.
So I mean, so they just turned off the security cameras.
They
in
They
shot
the...
shot them out.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't even.
Yeah.
Barbarian.
They also agree on permanent solutions.
Yeah.
At this point, through the comlog, you hear very far away a bunch of shooting and some Russian yelling. Do any of you speak Russian? That is on the comlog with you. Any of the Ariadnans?
Wait.
The best chance for speaking Russian
No,
would
I
actually be Salazar.
German.
Actually, Laddie speaks Kazakh.
Oh, you speak Kazakh? All right, so it doesn't sound like it's Kazakh. It's definitely not Kazakh, but you do catch some words like the very basic like stop and leave and no entry.
And the Sika
But that's coming from the tent thingy in the plaza.
No, Chu actually turns around and he's looking up at the moment.
What do you got eyes on?
It's 7th floor. There's been a bit of a shootout. Didn't last too long though.
Can I cross-check the list of VIPs with the manifest to see where their rooms are at?
Yeah, you can get. You do check through the list and what's his name again?
Who's on the 7th floor? This kind of
Vadim actually has. Vadim Kovalev has a room on the 7th floor.
Okay, so that might be who's.
7th floor hotel, right?
Yeah.
Chu, we're gonna try and get you your station back as quickly as we can. Get your personnel, find somewhere safe to be. If we need backup, just be ready to back us up as best you can, and we'll do the best we can to keep you guys safe.
I certainly appreciate it. Would it be okay if my boys make their way to the Tiki Hut at this point?
Yeah. Well, that sounds like a good cover, you guys all hiding here.
That sounds dangerous. Both for them and for us.
maybe calling too much attention to ourselves, or
There was already one set of assassins amongst us men.
I would say that means that there's probably not another one. You know, lightning and all that jazz. And
yeah.
Turns out they're all highly trained assassins.
and if that's the best they've got, we've got this covered.
I mean, but I guess if you guys want to outvote Antonio, there's not much you can do.
Okay.
I'm leaving it up to you guys.
Valetti's not going to outvote Antonio because Johnny established that the hierarchy started with Antonio.
Yeah. Antonio's in charge. Johnny's just giving a suggestion.
I mean, like, Antonio would like the guys nearby, but as far as he's concerned, these guys are, like, no better than civilians. So they're not combat assets.
Is there somebody somewhere close by that they can pull up?
Well, if they're civilians, that means that anybody who comes here would have to be careful at how they're shooting.
But still, would we?
You
Well,
want
not
to
me,
use
I don't shoot.
civilians as fucking
Yeah.
shields?
I don't shoot either. I mean, Laddie and I don't have to shoot either. We're totally willing to do wet work.
Laddie is still totally down to turn this into a giant, like, spoopy haunted house. He's looking for the fog machine still. While you guys are, like, trying to plan something, Laddie's looking around for the fog machine and a blowtorch.
Antonio just
Where
thinks
your mind's
they're
at.
more liability and a potential danger to themselves and us than an asset. And like, if we wanted to try to pick off any opponents from the distance as they approach, we'd be having to shoot through these guys as well.
Okay. So in that case, I say, hey, Chu, the Tiki Hut might put you in line of fire since it's where we're currently holed up, and we don't want you in that kind of danger right now. Do you guys have an apartment or something nearby, but not in the direct line of fire? I'm currently hoping that you guys count as civilians for the purpose of the rules.
We can hole up in the pool's clubhouse. It's out of the way enough.
Perfect. I'll have the Tiki Hut send you guys over some food.
I really appreciate it.
It's like a half-hour walk. They get lukewarm sushi by the time it gets there.
Gross.
Yeah, ew.
It's okay. It's spam sushi because it's
By the
Hawaiian.
way,
Well, so it's
you
already
do
gross.
see through the cameras that most of the other restaurants in the central of the plaza, they're still open.
I mean, I don't see why not, because if civilians aren't part of the mission, they don't really have too much to worry about.
This is prime entertainment.
You have to take into consideration the economy, no matter what the danger is.
Is that these market forces at work?
I mean, you're technically in Panosiania. Panosiania is 100%, capitalism first.
All right.
And most of these people aren't even Panosianian, so as far as the money making goes versus the human lives worth, it's like easy to skew.
All
right. So we're all holed up in here. Have you figured out if you can tap into the fire system?
Oh no, I haven't. We haven't even done that. Yes, that's what Z is going to be doing while Laddie's working on her flamethrower. And
All right.
Boys are planning.
Laddie, you look around and you do find a not exactly a blowtorch, but a welding tool.
Yes.
Low grade, low yield little welding tool. It has a flame that's good enough to melt most civilian grade metals. But you do not find the fog machine anywhere.
Aw.
I like that it was
as
2
for
seconds
Can I roll
of genuine upset.
Laddie is very good at.
You want to spend an
Analysis and
infinity point for
survival.
the fog machine?
No. Yes, but no.
All right. So Z, you do find in the inner workings of the station where the fire system is controlled from, and to take control of it, since it's one of the emergency systems, this is actually going to be a difficulty 2 hacking test.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to go ahead and try, because I don't think we have any.
I would, in this case, given how important this is to what we're doing, this might be the time to spend the infinity point.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I have infinity. How many infinity
You have
points?
2.
Yes. No. Yes, I have 2 left. I will totally use an infinity and to give myself a little, just in case.
You
Just in
give
case.
yourself an infinity die, which will be a 1
Yes.
on the d20.
Hey, Kat, what are your feats? Because
Oh, so it's an automatic one?
Yeah, when you spend an infinity point, you get an
So
automatic
it's not
one.
like an extra dice thing, because like the momentum gives you an extra dice.
Yeah.
Or is it
Momentum
like
is 1 extra die you
D20?
roll. The infinity point gives you an extra d20 that always comes up as a 1.
And that's 2 successes, right?
Yeah, if you have focus. which you should because you're a
Yes,
hacker.
total pop focus for hacking. So I just rolled my normal 2d20.
Hey, Kat, what are your hacking feats? Because that's also important.
My hacking feats?
Yeah, normally it's in the second or third page of the character sheet.
Second page.
Mm,
I know that you should at least have the one that lets you re-roll a hacking roll. Because that's usually the first one, right?
Yeah, like that's normally the first skill of every skill tree.
I don't see. I don't see feats.
It's talents. Sorry.
Oh, talents. Oh, I just have hacker. That's all it says. Just hacker.
That's probably where you get to re-roll the d20.
Oh, yeah, I don't have the descriptions of it, so I'm not sure.
Is it just called hacker?
Yeah, that's.
Right, let me
I
try
have
to.
hacker, tricks of the trade, and paranoid, which I know paranoid is what gives me my extras to defense in the cloud thing, the internet.
Yeah, hacker I think is the one that just lets you re-roll one of your dice. So
Okay.
go ahead and you do your roll while we look up hacker for you.
It may re-roll a number of dice equal to the number of hacking talents that they have acquired.
I don't know why it's not rolling.
So just
Is it coming up for you guys, or is it just stuck for me?
Oh, okay. So
It hasn't come up.
it has that.
No.
because you have hacker,
There we
tricks
go.
of the trade, and paranoid, you have 3 hacking talents. So that means you're able to re-roll 3 dice when making an Infowar attack.
Nice.
Oh shit!
So far you had 3 successes, counting your infinity die. You can re-roll that 15 if you want.
I have a 15.
Right. You
I have-
can
Oh, you have 15?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, perfect. So that's 4 successes.
Alright.
You do take control of the fire system.
That's 2 momentum, right?
Yeah, 2 momentum.
Thanks.
It
Okay,
is
guys,
a
I'm
We're on the
in.
board.
it is a CO2 system. In some areas, in other areas, is just standard, sprinklers and water, because these people are very cheap. Within the security offices, it is indeed CO2.
Okay, and that's where they're specifically all of them. Well, at least what we last know of them.
Mhm.
So like if we could if we could trigger the lock on the security
Like get
room.
them out, kind of, so force them out instead of us breaking in.
Yeah, like if we trigger the lock, so it goes on lockdown, and then flood the room with CO2, that will freak them out. Or if they don't notice, they'll just die, which we're both okay with.
I totally see this as a win.
Yeah. And if they're coming out of that room in a panic, because they probably have to shoot themselves out of the room, they would make them easy pickings for any other team to handle them. And then we obviously, as soon as we do the first thing, we broadcast their location.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's a solid plan.
Alright.
At least they'll know. I mean, not everybody's really going to get there that quick. Do we want them to get out? We should broadcast before we plop them out? Like, kick them out in like 20 minutes, half an hour after we do the broadcast? So that way they pop out maybe when people are getting there. Because if you pop them out, they're just going to run to a new location. I mean, yeah, they're more like...
Yeah, they're going to be exposed and on the run, so
There you go.
it's an absolute win. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a win-win for sure.
Yeah.
When we decide to do it.
Are we making any kind of announcement when we broadcast? Because, do we need to? If we're just broadcasting their location, are they going to be able to see it?
Oh man, I don't have to broadcast, speak. I can just make some cute little meme gif kind of sort of thing,
Just with some flashy
it's
arrows.
Some
Yeah,
background
look,
music.
this is where he's
and
at.
it's
Here's the map,
Yeah.
and have his picture and the map and he's here. Get him.
Well, so in Infinity, everybody's got essentially AR goggles on at all times. So you
Oh,
can...
see, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect. That's totally what I'm doing. Nobody needs to talk. We're good.
A little
works.
squid person's like, hey, listen! Hey,
Oh, it's
listen.
like a little cute chibi
I
drawing,
love
and
it.
that's
Perfect.
You know,
Yeah,
yeah.
Her marionette persona
yeah.
appears.
As long as it's not her Sonic OC, we're all good.
What?
As long as it's not your Sonic OC.
I don't know.
Sonic the
Okay,
Hedgehog, OC.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, I missed that. That went over my head.
It's okay.
It's because you're short.
All right. So what's
Last
your course of
houses.
action, guys? Which one are you doing first?
I would say just let's lock them in. Let's lock the doors. Because
Well-
we already had access to the security system, right?
Would I
So-
be able to lock the doors like that? Is it electrical doors? Because I mean, you're saying
Yeah.
they might still be using bolt
It's
locks.
the future.
Are you
Everything's
going
electrical.
to are you going to navigate to the Quantronic zone that controls the security office?
Is that against the rules?
No, that's how
Just
you
like-
hack. But basically,
Yeah.
hacking in Infinity is made in zones, right? There's different zones that control different things. Right now, you're in the Quantronic zone that controls general station stuff. Like you had the cameras, you had the fire system, et cetera, et cetera. Before you were at one point in the one that controls the different rooms. The security office has its own Quantronic zone. Are you going to make your way there?
Would she
Yeah.
still have a tunnel to the emergency system, or would she have to hack her way back into the emergency system afterwards?
She can just go back.
Okay.
She basically has clearance now at this point.
Okay.
Once I know the path, I'm good.
All right. So as you head into the Quantronic zone for the security office, as soon as you get there, you see it. There is someone else there, and they instantly hit you with an attack.
No! My first
no.
battle.
So they get
With
2 successes.
Wait, paranoid increases the difficulty of anyone attacking her.
All right. So it's still a hit.
And she's
Okay,
got the
well.
defensive whatever Mahoozies that I don't remember what that did either. The
You can
defensive
spend.
So
Monologue.
he's,
You can
he's
spend momentum.
attacking my dice?
And she's attacking you. That person's attacking you directly because you
Oh.
are hacking inside. The Geist is your aid, basically. Your
It's Clippy.
yeah, your Clippy.
Oh. Okay.
So you are hit with a brain blast. You can choose to react to it by spending momentum or paying heat.
And none of my talents would because it's all defense. I'm just getting hit. And that goes to me, like I'm getting physically attacked.
Yeah. Well, you're getting attacked quantronically because there's 3 types of combat in the game. There's quantronic combat, which is hacking combat. There is regular combat, and then there's also a Psy-War, which is speaking, convincing, that kind of thing.
Morale aspect, yeah.
Yeah. This one is attacking your systems, your data stuff.
Right. Okay, I would definitely like to use. You said I could use momentum so I can have an action to do something about it, right?
You can take a defensive action, which in this case would be also hacking using one of your programs. Your hacking device has several programs. It doesn't have any offensive programs, but it does have a lot of really good defensive ones.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the best defensive programs that any hacking device can have. Let me see if I can find them here. Where are they?
So this might be my fault. I didn't realize that she had to pick the programs that she had.
Well, the hacking device has all the programs that it is rated for. She has a
Automatic.
defensive hacking device.
Okay.
Yeah, she has a defensive hacking device, so she has no claw or sword programs, but she has all the shields, any gadget one, and well, we're gonna ignore the ACs for now because they're very complicated. So yeah, she has access to exorcism, U-turn, breakwater, counterstrike, zero pain. Yeah, and
So Counter-Strike. I can do a Counter-Strike, right? That would be me attacking back after getting attacked.
yeah.
That is what I'm going to attempt to do.
I love how cool hacking is done in this system. But
I need to read up on more.
It is a whole other
more complex than I guess I thought.
Yeah,
It's like
a whole other
spellcasting.
thing. Yeah, I hadn't realized how cool it was, but it really is.
So Counter-Strike is very good. So when you use
All
Counter-Strike,
Russians play it.
you succeed in Counter-Strike, you add a +1 difficulty to the opponent's attack test, and if you succeed on the face-to-face test, you reflect the power back on the attacker.
Oh, yes. That's exactly what I want to do, because he fucking hit me. Okay.
All right, so you spend your momentum to counter hack,
Take
and
that
now you
action.
roll your hacking.
So I still roll just 2d20, right?
Yeah, unless you want to spend momentum or more momentum to roll more.
No, this is fine. I think I can go good.
Woo!
Nice. Like a boss.
Yeah, you beat them, so they're gonna be taking some damage. That is gonna be 3 successes, which is more than their 1.
Do we get momentum for the extra stuff, or is that just going completely against him? If I win, I win.
Yeah, you get 2 momentum for that. And they're
Z
going
is
to
the
take...
one that generates all of our momentum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me look at Brain Blast to see how much damage it does.
I want to look that up too.
I like that he brain blasted himself. You played yourself.
Uh-huh.
Z reveals her face down card and it's magic cylinders.
They activated her trap card. Good.
And now her hacking deck is just like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Dual disc.
Alright. That's 4.
My hacking deck does not have any weak programs, but what it does have is this!
Alright, so your opponent takes 4 damage to their firewall. And now it's your turn.
Oh, okay. What was the book where I can find those?
It's on the main book.
It's the core
I can
rulebook and it's
still
page
only use-
352.
352, because I can still only use my defense hacking device because it's the only.
Yeah, you currently do not have any offensive programs.
We'll fix that.
Well, future, yeah, we'll work on that.
That's the thing we know we need now.
Hold on, it's loading.
But you have gadgets, the gadget ones also.
Yeah, because it's all more kid. So would I be able to build up my defenses for next time, just in case if he tries to attack me? As I'm looking for this book, because
You will have to get a different hacking device. Well, you can use.
well, it would be like I said. I'm not like being offensive. I'm not planning on attacking him. I just kind of sort of want to like a shield spell kind of sort of thing, like protect myself a little bit more.
Well, let me see what you have available. You have Exorcism, U-turn, Breakwater, Counterstrike, Zero Pain. Yeah, that's it.
Well, she's got the
So-
gadgets too, but I don't know what they do.
I don't think any of the gadgets that I have really do.
The gadgets are usually to like it's control jump, fairy dust, luck picker. You could do fairy dust.
Where are the gadgets?
Oh, you can also take... Okay, if I'm reading this right, you can take a defensive action, which makes you harder to hit. You can The actions you can take are on page 110 through 113. It's 110 through 113. It's Absterge, Assist, Defense, Exploit, Guard, Ready, Recover, Treat, and Withdraw.
And also, hack.
Well, I imagine that it's in this case, Absterge is hack? I don't know.
No, Absterge is when you take a wound and you have effects from that wound, you try to, get back in the fight, like psych yourself out of whatever shock you might be feeling at the moment. You can do Fairy Dust, which would make it's a simple hacking test, and all allies within long range, or all your entire group, would get +1 d6 interference soak. So anytime that they will get hit by a quantronic attack, they can reduce the damage of that attack by 1d6. 1, 2, or 1, basically.
Okay, we'll try that. Give me a little boost while I'm in here.
All
Not that they need it.
So you do Fairy Dust, and then at that moment, after you're done doing Fairy Dust, I'm going to spend 1 heat, and the enemy hacker is going to try Brain Blast again, because they have not learned their lesson. Clearly.
Does she roll for her Fairy Dust, or how does that work?
Yeah, it's difficulty 0, so just roll your 2d20, and you can get
some.
If you succeed, which you probably will. Yeah, there you go. You generate momentum.
Good. So then I would be able to use my momentum to counter attack his ass again.
Yeah, you can. You can use Counter Strike again. Was it Counter Strike?
Yes.
Totally counter striking his ass
Use
again.
CS:GO.
I imagine that Z's stuff in the Quantronic is like very much like fireballs, shield, fairy fire.
Yeah, Counter Strike. So roll your hacking test.
I like the thing that we're all like sitting around while Zia's eyes are glowing and her head
No,
is
We're
changing
just
Green
watching
lighting.
her avatar state, and we're like, okay.
Alright.
I'm just
She
waiting here, I
starts
guess.
sweating. I mean, I don't think octopuses sweat, so I don't know.
Well, they live underwater, so we
She's
wouldn't even
changing
know.
colors. She's just changing colors. She's,
I like it.
focused.
All right, so that's 2v2. So it's a wash. None of you managed to do anything against each other.
Okay, that's fine. That's
And
fine.
then it's your turn again.
Okay.
Where do you find the hacking programs, Julio, so I can read them over also?
They're actually in the equipment section.
Equipment.
Like for instance,
Okay.
the shield programs start on page 379 of the main rulebook.
Uh-oh.
Got it.
$169?
379.
379. Wow, that was way up. I just see a bunch of guns, you guys.
Hmm.
Check the page number at the bottom, because sometimes the page on the PDF is not conducive to this.
That's it. That's
That's
on the
him,
bottom.
yeah.
It's 37.
Stim, sports padding, sport bot. Sensor suite. Mhm. Yeah, I'm upset that I don't have anything really offensive.
We're just gonna have to fix it.
I'm like, I want to attack something.
I want to hit things.
What were?
Don't hit me.
What? I just found something called a tetrodontoxin. It's a
Tetrodotoxin. That's a
Yeah.
poison.
Yeah, that's very cool.
You've gone too
I like
far.
on today. They're pufferfish. Yeah, I feel like I'm just like lost and I have no idea what I'm looking at.
So, Kat, use Breakwater on your turn, and what it does is increases their difficulty by 2.
How are you finding these things?
And that would, yeah.
It's 379. It's the last one on the page.
All right.
Oh, no, never mind. Just keeps using Counter-Strike. It's +1 difficulty, and if you win, they get hit.
Oh, okay. So it does some kind of, yeah, I'm totally doing that then. If it's actually going to do some, I don't have to wait to use it to
But you have to win, yeah.
or else I get damage?
Yes.
I'll risk it. I'm going to use a momentum to give me some extra dice.
It's
So
when they attack you. You don't do anything yet.
yeah.
Oh, okay. So it is just when okay, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
It is just
You gotta
when
decide. You gotta decide what you're gonna do during your turn, though.
Yeah, that's what I was.
You could use Breakwater, increase their difficulty by 2, and then whenever he punches, you just
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm
Counter-Strike.
going to do.
Oh, wow.
Make it more for him
That would
to
make it
attack.
difficulty 4.
That's my breakwater. Which I still couldn't find, by the way. I think I'm in the wrong book, so it's fine. Forget it. Because what you guys are giving me page numbers and it's not matching, so whatever.
Are
It's
you
fine.
looking in the main rule book or in the Nomad book?
The core book?
Yes.
Is that
Yeah.
not the main book?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
I have no
It
idea.
should be there.
I found no breakwater.
375?
Oh, what am I saying?
Is that what you guys said?
Yeah,
379.
379.
All right. But this is like.
We need to get her some sword programs.
Yeah. I'm in S. Gear catalog.
So,
Yeah, it says Shield 1. It should start with Shield 1 at the bottom right corner of the
Okay,
page.
yeah, I was just reading shields, even with my glasses, and I totally missing the break. I was like, shield 1, shield 2. I'm like, I don't fucking see this breakwater. And I was going back to B, and I couldn't find it. So,
It'd be like that sometimes.
it's fine.
All right. So on your turn, you do Breakwater. Go ahead and roll your hacking attack, your hacking test.
So, and I got, I use an extra, so I roll 3d20, right?
If you're using momentum, yeah.
Oh, no, I won't, never mind.
All right. That's 2
Success.
successes.
what's the difficulty on Breakwater?
It should stay on there.
Difficulty 2?
Okay, so you gain no momentum, but Breakwater's on. Got it.
All right. So on the enemy hacker's turn, I'm gonna spend 3 heat. And going to try to brain blast once again. And that's gonna be 2 successes. Not enough.
Huh,
But she can Counter-Strike now if she burns momentum, right?
Yeah.
totally doing that.
And if she gets even 1 success now, it counts because he essentially has 0?
No. It becomes a face-to-face, so she'll have to get more than 2
So
successes.
he has to re-roll, do his roll again, right?
No.
My
You
No,
roll?
no.
roll against this roll.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, but even if it's a face-to-face, you'd still need to meet the minimum number of successes, right?
Yeah.
It's just like you could you still cancel her if she doesn't beat your successes, but if you beat hers and don't beat the threshold, it doesn't matter.
Essentially, she gets to do it for free. Kat, spend 2 momentum so that you get so you're rolling 3 dice.
What's our momentum at right now? What are we at?
That'll put us at 1 left.
Okay. Let's do it. Yeah,
Go
I'll
ahead,
use.
go ahead and roll your 3 dice. It's all your momentum anyway.
That is 3 successes.
Yep.
Brain blast.
Yourself.
Alright.
Brain blast yourself.
Check yourself before thou rakes thyself.
At this point, I look at Antonio. Should we go start shooting real people to make sure that she doesn't get in trouble?
And that's gonna be 3 damage to the enemy hacker.
That's to his firewall, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what his firewall's like. Is that something that I can find out? Like, if what level his firewall is? How close I am to just breaking it in?
Not really.
Okay. So it's a surprise when it happens.
Surprise!
Yeah, like I would tell you when you inflict the
Okay.
harm, basically.
Okay.
We probably shouldn't go anywhere, because if we leave her here, that doesn't prevent other teams from going where we're at and shooting her.
Oh.
And remember, the guard station is very far from where we currently are.
Could I update them on what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
so-
can speak. You're not, completely, unless you think that you're so absorbed by this battle of
Yeah,
wills.
this guy's cake. It's just a little tedious. It's not a big deal. So they have their own hacker dude, but don't worry. It's resistance is futile.
Antonio sees that you are not typing very fast like in the movies, and so he doesn't know how well you're doing.
At this point, well, it's your turn, so you go ahead.
Oh, now it's my turn again?
Yeah, because he attacked, you defended, it didn't work for him. Now it's your turn.
I think I'm going to continue doing the breakwater just to make it hard for him to do anything. And just chop them down.
So it's difficulty 3, or 2, rather.
Yeah, difficulty 2.
I like the idea that she is so good at hacking that she's essentially winning by not doing anything.
Stop hitting yourself. Stop.
Oh my god, that's what I was thinking. Like, stop hitting yourself. That's great.
Hacker Supreme over here. So yeah, that's 2 successes. That means a breakwater goes off.
Mary Problems got nothing on Z.
At this point, you do notice that the enemy hacker, their presence is no longer there. And I'm going to spend 2 momentum, or rather 2 heat. And suddenly the Quantronic area for the security office is no longer accessible.
They just shot the computer.
He disabled it completely. I can't get
Alright,
it.
but you know what they didn't disable? The fucking emergency system. Let's just hit him with it and then make the announcement.
Okay.
Make the announcement and then hit him with it.
You know what? He agrees.
So I'm going to send out my little PowerPoint.
All right. So everybody in the station gets the little
Per
notification
TikTok.
on their AR. Little arrows pointing in the direction of security office, and yeah, he's here. It's what's his face again? It's Damien. Damien Stu. It's
Damien
using
the war
security
criminal.
office.
See, if we would have
Just bing,
talked to that
bing,
lady, he might have been able to tell us who the other assassins are, and we could have just sent it directly to his assassin.
And now it's time to kick it. Just fill up that room with CO2.
As you look through the cameras, you do see. Oh, you're gonna activate the emergency system.
Yeah,
Oh,
but only in their localized
Area.
Yeah.
All right. So to do that, that's gonna be a difficulty 2 hacking test.
We still have some momentum left, right?
You have 1
so,
momentum.
yeah.
I'm so using that 1 momentum just...
Yeah.
Gato.
Go ahead, yeah.
It's all yours anyway, and you wasted 6 of Julio's heat.
Yep.
So it's 3d20, right?
Yes.
Yep.
And the 19 you can reroll because of your talent as well.
Yes! totally re-rolling. Thank you. Is it the hacker talent, the one that gives me that?
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
Nice.
I believe it's actually the tools of
Yeah.
the trade as well.
Okay.
12 also nails
that's-
it. So you go.
So we
3
end up with one
successes.
extra momentum.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
you go back to 1.
It's a perpetual
like
motion machine.
I like
That's
it. I
what
like
it
it.
is.
Yeah, so you fire off the CO2 fire suppression system. You do see through the cameras
I'm
that
totally watching the cameras and recording because I want to replay this back for the crowd, and I think people would appreciate it.
you do see through the cameras that there are a few Celestial Guards that start piling out of the place. Very orderly, very calmly, and behind
They've had
them you see.
emergency fire drills before.
Yeah. They're actually like in perfect formation, covering each other's corners. Everybody's like pointing their rifles out. And then behind them, Damien Sue also walks out with like a handkerchief to his face.
I guess he doesn't like being the one that gets
Try.
gassed.
Yeah.
Haha.
I like it. I like it. That's my headline with him and his little handkerchief. Totally putting that.
What is it? What is it? The iPhone app calls it like boomerang or whatever. You take a picture that's like 2 seconds.
Yeah, he doesn't seem too flustered. You do see that one of the Celestial Guards that comes out with him is a female one, and she has like the whole hacker visor thing going on, and she is kind of like holding her head a little bit, like that hurt.
Keeping her on tabs too, pinning her face. I keep tabs on that bitch.
So they walk out. They wait for a little bit. You see the CO2, dry ice basically. System is fogging out of the security office. This happens for like maybe a few minutes, like 2-3 minutes, and then it starts to like ameliorate until it finally stops. At which point they just make their way back in.
They're just gonna go into a room full of CO2.
Yeah, that powder, it's powdered, right?
No, it's gas.
It lingers, and
I mean, whatever. That's on them.
I mean, you know what? Está bien.
Allá ustedes. No, they're Eugene. Don't they all come with like MSV visors and fucking the whole 9 yards?
Jackasses. Yeah.
So was there any other teams maybe going for it? Anybody around that we could see in the cameras?
You do see that the guys in suits with guns that are around the tent, they kind of look in that direction, and they're like making intense eye contact with the Celestial Guards, but there's no escalation beyond that. On the cameras up on the higher floors, you do see a few guys in you recognize them because you're Nomad. They're Securitates. They have the whole like tactical business tactical thing going on, and they're looking down with their combi rifles.
They're tactical.
Yeah, I really like the Securitate. They have some of the coolest designs.
Okay. So, Salazar.
Okay, guys, it's your turn.
Everybody seems to be in no hurry to get involved.
I'm just gonna wait it out.
I mean, those guys just walked back into a room flooded with CO2. Like, the gas is going to linger aside from the initial kill zone. So, in about 2 hours, the VIP is going to be dead.
It's not going to linger that much.
Yeah,
it's not going to linger that long.
It'll get vented.
Yeah.
Super HVAC systems in the Infinity future.
I think we need to make... Well... Maybe we wait and their assassin will come for her? There's an assassin for each target. But is the assassin going to get involved early on?
I just shared the Securitate on the Discord so you guys can see in case you haven't seen them before.
Okay.
Salazar would be so happy to go out there and start chopping heads, if his mission was kill, not protect, these people would already be dead.
Just being offense. Taking
But
it
the mission
slow.
is protect, and we don't have enough forces to both protect our VIP from assassins, like the one we just saw on camera,
Okay.
and everybody else's security team.
All right. So we just wait.
And knowing this type of game show, Salazar figures that within the next hour or so, there's gonna be another announcement about no one making any plays, and there's gonna be an incentive to make plays. At that point, the circle grows smaller.
Okay.
That is like those damn Japanese
You've seen
people.
shows like this
Their game
before,
shows.
haven't you, Salazar?
He watched that vintage movie called Battle Royale.
Hey.
300 years old. It's
At this point, Laddie and I are just rifling through the cabinets and eating whatever we find.
The waiters and the restaurant staff at this point are not even getting in their they never were getting in your way, but they're just doing their thing, smoking, playing cards, just hanging out.
Antonio sees you rifling through the cabinets, and you're like, you could ask them to just cook it for you, right? Like they would just make the stuff.
Yeah, but I don't want to bother them.
Extra
We're already
heavy.
in their space.
I mean, they'd get paid.
Laddie,
They
steak?
Blue rare.
Two
Yeah,
steaks.
the cooks are there, and they're like seeing you rifle through shit, and they'll be like, "Hey man, if you want to cook your own shit, then be our guest."
No. Let's see what you got. 2 steaks, American T-bone, rare, blue.
All right, that's not free, right? You do have to pay. Just FYI.
yeah. But it goes on the company card.
Oh.
Look here, I'll make a lifestyle check for you.
Per diem, man. We have to have per diem.
Yeah.
If not, Kyrie's paying for us.
There you go. 2 successes
Alright.
on that lifestyle
Kari
check.
just looks in the other direction, and she's like, "I'm not paying for anyone."
No, it's okay. Santiago, Salazar.
Yeah.
Flashes the
Salazar
fucking-
just brings out a freaking credit card and just slides to the.
It's panel black, and it has the cross of Santiago on it, and he just panel black for the pious man on the go. He's still wearing his helmet, but you imagine his teeth glint when he smiles beneath the helmet.
So we...
Why does he freeze frame like that? It's corporate sponsorship.
Yeah, it's like little drones just filming him at that point.
Steak and potatoes, man.
All right, the cooks, they start whipping shit up. They do their thing, and you're quite impressed at how quick they turn it out. It's not.
I don't have to cook it very, very long.
Yeah. No, but these guys they're pros. They sous vide that shit. They reverse sear it. It's
Well
it's a pretty
seasoned.
yeah. It's a pretty darn good steak. It's not grilled. You definitely prefer your grill being all American. But it's a damn good steak.
Being the American that I am, I also ask for steak sauce.
Just A1.
A1. They kind of.
Letty looks at Johnny extremely judgily.
It's not a steak without steak sauce.
I mean, it's not an American steak without steak sauce, but we don't play by those rules over here, man. Also, the steak might be very good, but the potatoes are most definitely synthetic.
They taste like absolutely boxed mashed potatoes with
100%.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I asked him, have you ever seen a potato?
Not in my life. And then one in the back is like, yeah, man, in culinary school, way back when in history class.
In the history course for culinary school, but they didn't have any actual potatoes.
I was just like, Laddie, you remember those potatoes that the Kazakhs brought us?
Imagine they're some gigantic potatoes. I don't remember Ariadne's orbit around the sun, but it's just
It's huge.
I'm like,
I have a
Extra.
distinct memory of a Kazakh just bringing out one of those monsters and being like,
potato.
one day you will be vodka, but not today.
a bottle. The starchiest of vodkas.
I'm like, Laddie, we need to start bringing potatoes for people.
I'm gonna start a potato enterprise. As opposed to Chiquita banana is going to be Bigita potato.
Bikito potato.
At this point, it is already getting up there in the day. Like the sun has already mostly set. You guys can see it through the clear dome on top of the station. And you do hear that there is some sort of commotion coming from the AR courts all the way on the other side. You do hear some very loud voices screaming very faintly. You can't quite make out what's going on.
Cameras over that way?
What was that?
Do I have cameras? Do I have eyes?
Yeah, there are cameras around the AR court. You turn on the ones in that direction, and you do see that there is the priest that you guys saw before handing out food to the people, the civilians in the middle of the plaza. He's on the floor. There's a basket full of canned goods and stuff like that outside, a few loaves of bread and whatnot. And in front of them, there are two large armored figures that look like this.
Share it in the Skype chat so that I can show it to the viewers as well.
Will do.
The priest that we thought was sus,
Yeah.
The one that was handing out stuff and you thought was sus.
but the priest that we were after, or that everyone else was after, is
Ernesto.
dead.
That one already
right?
died, yeah. That one's dead. This
Oh,
one
man.
is an older man with long hair. The other
It's
one,
a new one.
yeah. There's two of these, and they're yelling at the old man on the floor. They're not in red and white. They're actually in yellow and black.
The Kari colors.
After a while, a third tanko comes out of inside the housing of the air courts, and they grab the old man by the collar and they start dragging them towards the main building.
So he's still alive?
No, this is
he
the
was
good
just on the
priest.
floor, kind of on his back,
Yeah,
like
long
panicking.
hair priest.
This is the good priest.
Face Brazil.
The good priest. We don't know that guy,
Hey,
but he's not the priest that we were supposed to kill. That's
Salazar, should we not save your priest?
Salazar will pray
Salazar
for
really
him.
wants to, but like he knows that if this guy died, first of all, this guy's a civilian, so if they shouldn't kill him because of that. Secondly, as a member of the church, he is willing to die for his beliefs. Thirdly, if he dies a martyr and his cube is not crushed, he skyrockets to the top of the resurrection queue.
So Salazar's like,
He's good.
Johnny's just like, I've never met.
Look, he puts his hand on your shoulder and he goes like, "My friend, through Christ, everything is possible."
You have never seen anyone rationalize inaction so well.
And then he goes, "And if he dies, after all I've established, then they have a target on their heads."
True.
Z, as you see on the cameras, these people they start bringing the priest all the way to the center of the plaza. The one that's grabbing him holds him up and takes off the helmet. And you can see under the helmet is actually a woman with long black hair. You recognize her from the pictures. She is actually... man, I keep forgetting the names of these people.
Sayuri.
Maya Ortega.
Yeah, Sayuri Toda.
Oh, a toga.
Sayuri Toda.
Oh.
She's screaming something or yelling something very loudly. Both the Celestial Guards at the north part by the security office and the people, the corporate security people by the tent are pointing their rifles directly at her and her companions. She draws her sword Her companions have their rifles at the ready, but they're not actually being hostile towards anybody at the moment. She draws her sword. She puts the priest in front of her, and one swift motion just decapitates him.
Okay.
And then just dumps his body in the middle of the plaza, and starts making her way back to the AR courts.
Buddy is confused why no one has shot this lady yet.
So, was the priest an assassin?
He wasn't a very good one, was he?
No, but assassins wouldn't be civilians, so there would be no problem with her killing her assassin. Right? Maybe?
I mean, we'll hear an announcement shortly, one way or another, I imagine.
Well, there'll definitely be an announcement soon, because that was some dirty shit.
So, Sayuri is at the AR courts. Damien is in the security office. Vladin is in the 7th floor of the hotel. And we're assuming that Stevens is the one in the plaza, but there's no confirmation yet.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then Ernst Twill was killed by Danielle Griskin.
Yeah.
Is that right, Julio? Am I missing anything?
Yeah, you're correct. That is the facts as they stand currently.
So technically, we know where everybody is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As of right now, we know where everyone is. We can mount attacks as needed, but I really don't want to, even all 4 of us against heavily armored infantry like that is going to be rough.
No, exactly. I don't think we should. We have no real reason to fight this. It's more a matter of defending our person from the assassin. It doesn't seem like anybody's team is attacking other teams. It's more just defending against the assassin.
Okay. Salazar, do you want to take a moment and get your brother's cube?
Yeah, he just are you guys okay here without Salazar?
Yeah.
I mean, it's 3 of you. He figures.
I got eyes.
Should be okay, He's so Salazar wants to head to the court.
I'm gonna keep eyes on Salazar as he's going, just in case.
All right. So Salazar makes his way to the center plaza, and as he arrives there, you do see that the corporate security people they start, just giving you the eyes. As you get to the center, the Celestial Guard also are giving you the look of keep your distance.
Yeah. He just approaches the body, and his sword is already unsheathed. He puts it on the ground. He takes out a rosary, and he gives a short prayer, and then he carves out the cube from this guy's head, and he just puts it in his pocket. And he just starts walking away.
All right. At this point, the central projectors turn on. And you do see Guignol standing there, and he has a handkerchief. And even though he's wearing his full face mask, he's kind of mimicking drying tears. Ladies and gentlemen, something very unfortunate has happened. One of our dear assassins, Father Ernesto, has been sadly taken down by his target. Let's see exactly how this happened. And then you see images of from the point of view of someone walking towards the 2 tankos that are outside of the AR courts. He approaches and he says, "Hello, children. I am here to bring you some food as I am concerned for your well-being, being out here away from all the supplies that we have gathered for those affected." One of the tankos grabs his bag very violently. He's kind of shaken. He opens his the bottom part of his helmet, takes a loaf of bread. He takes a bite, chews on it, and then just spits it back out. It's he says in Japanese, but you can hear through the universal translation, "This is poison." At that point, the other one just kicks the old man onto the floor. You can see from his point of view as he just eyes skyward, and the other one goes in, brings up Sayuri. She comes out. She starts yelling at him in Japanese. You dare try to poison me? You are the assassin? This is pathetic. Why couldn't I get someone who would pose a real challenge like that other idiot priest with his Russian knife flinger? This is an insult. I am insulted. She just grabs him, drags him to the plaza. The whole time you see from his eyes as he's being jostled and stuff. She stands in the middle of the plaza and she says, "Let this be a lesson to all of you here who are standing between me and that EI comlog. I will not stand to be insulted by such weaklings attempting to attack me and mine." Draws her sword, decapitates him. You see the vision just whip around as the head just lands on its side on the floor. Then the body is unceremoniously dropped next to it, and you hear the heavy footsteps of the tankos walking away.
Man, bitches be crazy.
They'd be like that.
You see Guignol at this point says, "Alas, he was a good man at his trade, and he will be missed. This only means that Sayuri Toda is now the front runner for getting her hands on this beautiful conlog. As she no longer has the threat of an assassin hanging over her head, you are probably going to start getting visits from her very soon. How will things develop from here? No idea, but we will find out soon as we go forward in Ultimate Regison!" Just disappears.
Oh shit.
So she's free to attack now. How far are we the farthest from her?
No. Not by a bit. You guys are on the other side of the open section.
So who's the farthest from her?
The farthest from her would probably be... Let's see. Vadim, as he is all the way on the top, on the side of the building that is towards the private docks. The east side of the building.
Okay. We're actually... we're not the closest to her, but we're very close.
You're about as equidistant from her as the tent in the middle, and you are closer than both the security office and the 7th floor guy.
What was this comm thingy that they're fighting for?
It's an EI comlog. It's from the Combined Army. It used to belong to a MORAT officer, and it has an EI hacking device on it.
It is alien tech.
Yeah.
They would have decryption codes for their communications and stuff like that. So it'd be
It's a bunch of officer classified shit for the Combined Army.
Mm-hmm.
in like childlike terms because it was for a MORAD.
Okay, and so we don't really need or want this comm, but our person is still standing in the way of these people getting the comm.
We want it even as O12 officers because, like, if the O12 got their hands on that, it would greatly benefit mankind as a whole. If any of the private interests got it, it would directly just benefit them. But it's at odds with our mission to try to go after it aggressively as opposed to protecting our BIP.
Oh, so if we get it, it's just bonus.
Yeah.
If not, whatever. Well, the whole point is if we keep our person alive, nobody will get it.
We'll
except
get it.
us.
Right.
Well, I mean, we'll get it at the end of the day.
No, I still like our defensive position. We just have to keep an eye on. We just have to keep an eye on her. I imagine that we're more defensible, so she'll go for the tent first. But combi rifles might be able to go through the concrete building and really tear us up.
I mean, I don't think we need to worry about that necessarily just yet. Because remember, there's still assassins out there. that we really should be our main focus.
Okay. As we're coming up on 9:46 now, Julio, do you want to go on to the next chapter or leave it with this latest announcement?
I think we can leave it here.
All right. For those of you out there watching, this has been Good Boys, a 3BR live stream for Infinity the RPG by Modiphius. Good Boys is every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We also have Land of Ice and Snow, which is a D&D 5e podcast or live stream. It's set in an alternate history. That's Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can also find us on our Facebook page at 3B Radio and on Instagram at 3B Radio. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, everybody. Hope
Bye,
you enjoyed the show.
everyone. Thanks.